Detention Camp 174, Belgium, December 1944. Captain Henry Walsh receives his orders via sealed envelope. Camp houses 63 German comfort women, military brothel workers, standard processing. Keep them separated from regular POWs. Walsh has processed hundreds of prisoners. He knows the categories: soldiers, officers, civilians, collaborators. But this? He opens the compound gate expecting he doesn't know what he's expecting. What he finds are women in Wehrmacht auxiliary uniforms, worn, muddy, torn at the seams. Not the clothing of brothel workers, the clothing of soldiers. And every single woman is holding a weapon. Not rifles, not pistols, typewriters, medical bags, radio equipment. Walsh stops walking. Something is very, very wrong. The camp commandant, a Belgian officer named Major Rousseau, greets Walsh with forced casualness. The comfort women, yes, captured during the Ardennes offensive, Wehrmacht Auxiliary Corps. Walsh looks past him at the women. They're standing in formation, military precision, eyes forward, back straight. One woman, tall, maybe 30, with a scar across her jaw, meets his gaze directly. No fear, no shame, just cold assessment. Major, Walsh says slowly, comfort women don't stand at attention. They were trained by the military. Comfort women don't carry medical certification papers. Walsh points at the woman with the scar. She's holding a worn leather document folder. That's a sanitator badge. She's a combat medic. Rousseau's smile falters. Walsh raises his voice so all 63 women can hear. Anyone here who was forced into military prostitution, step forward now. You will be processed separately under special protections. Silence. Not one woman moves. The tall medic speaks. Her English is accented, but clear. We are not prostitutes, Captain. We are soldiers, and whoever told you otherwise is a liar. Her name is Hanna Brandt, combat medic, Western Front, 3 years of service. She tells Walsh the truth that someone desperately didn't want him to know. When we were captured, she says, the Belgian resistance processed us. Not military, resistance fighters. They asked what we did. We told them, medics, radio operators, clerks, logistics. So why the lie? Hannah's jaw tightens. Because 2 of the resistance men decided that since we were German and female, we must have been whores. No other reason a woman would be near the front lines. Yes? Walsh feels ice in his stomach. When we corrected them, Hanna continues, her voice hard, they said it didn't matter, that Wehrmacht women were all collaborators anyway, that they'd seen German brothels, seen comfort stations, and we all looked the same to them. Another woman steps forward. Younger, maybe 22, radio operator named Katrin. They put us in this camp under false classification, so we'd be processed as prostitutes, not soldiers, not protected under Geneva Convention, just... Her voice breaks. Just available. Walsh turns to Rousseau. You knew. Rousseau shrugs. They're German. What does it matter what we call them? It matters, Walsh says, voice dropping to something dangerous, because you just violated every article of the Geneva Convention, and you did it knowingly. Walsh radios his headquarters immediately. This is Captain Walsh, Camp 174. Requesting immediate oversight inspection. We have 63 Wehrmacht auxiliaries who have been deliberately misclassified as non-combatant prostitutes by local resistance command. The radio crackles. His CO, Colonel Briggs, responds, Repeat that, Captain. Walsh does, slower, angrier. Briggs is silent for a long moment. How certain are you of this misclassification? They're carrying military documentation, medical equipment, and radio gear, sir. And they're standing in formation like trained soldiers because that's what they are. Understood. Inspection team inbound. Secure the prisoners. And, Captain? Sir? If anyone touches those women before we arrive, you have authorization to use force. Walsh turns to Rousseau. You heard him. Your access to this compound is revoked. My men will guard the gate until proper military authority arrives. Rousseau's face reddens. You cannot. I just did. And if you have a problem with that, you can explain to a Geneva Convention tribunal why you thought lying about prisoner classification was acceptable. Rousseau leaves. Fast. Walsh walks back to the women. You're being reclassified as military prisoners. Proper documentation, proper treatment. No one will touch you. Hanna nods once. Thank you, Captain. Don't thank me for doing the bare minimum a decent human should do. The inspection team arrives 6 hours later. They confirm what Walsh already knows. All 63 women are legitimate Wehrmacht Auxiliary Corps members, medics, radio operators, clerks, logistics officers. Not one of them was ever near a military brothel. Rousseau and 2 of his resistance officers are removed from Camp Command. Formal reprimands, potential courts-martial for Geneva violations. The women are transferred to a proper POW facility, given correct documentation, treated as what they are, soldiers. Before she leaves, Hanna approaches Walsh one last time. You know what the worst part is, Captain? Tell me. They weren't doing it to be cruel. Not really. They genuinely believed that any German woman near the front must have been a whore. They couldn't imagine we were there as professionals, as soldiers. She pauses. Your enemy taught you we were subhuman, but your allies taught you we were only useful for one thing. I don't know which is worse. Walsh has no answer for that. Captain Henry Walsh never received recognition for what he did at Camp 174. It wasn't heroic enough. It was just paperwork. Just reclassification, just ensuring 63 women weren't raped because someone decided their profession made them available. But to those 63 women, it was everything. Hanna Brandt survived the war, became a doctor in post-war Germany, specialized in women's health. In a 1979 interview, she was asked about her war experience. I was captured twice, she said, once by the enemy, once by allies who saw me as German first, woman second, and soldier never. The enemy followed the rules. The allies, some of them, had to be forced to. She paused. It took one British captain to look at us and see soldiers instead of assumptions. That saved us. The interviewer asked what she learned from that. That the most dangerous enemy isn't the one who wants to kill you. It's the one who decides what you are without asking. In war, we create categories: enemy, ally, soldier, civilian. And sometimes, when those categories fail us, we make new ones, crueler ones, easier ones. It's easier to dehumanize someone when you've already decided what they must be. But Captain Walsh did something radical. He asked. He looked at the evidence. He listened to the women. He questioned the narrative he was handed. And 63 women went home as soldiers, not as victims of a lie designed to make them vulnerable. If this story made you question the labels you accept without asking, share it, because the lesson isn't about 1944. It's about every time someone tells you what another person is without letting that person speak for themselves. Thank you for watching.